How to cook Espagnole sauce. Hi guys, welcome back to my How to Cook Masterclass. My name is James Howe, this is Chef at Home. In today's lesson we're going to be covering another of the mother sauces and probably my favourite of the five. Definitely the one I use the most, both cooking at work and at home. First thing, I'm going to show you how to cook it, and then a little bit later on I'm going to talk about the derivatives that this sauce can make. Now, if you are just catching this on the bounce, every Monday I'm bringing new instalments to this masterclass, so make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you don't miss another lesson in this series. But anyway, let's crack on. Now, Espagnole sauce, also known as a brown sauce, is again following the same method as the previous two mother sauces in the bechamel and the velouté, so that we start with a roux. But just like the velouté sauce was a darker roux, it was cooked for longer, giving a bit more of a golden colour. This one is taken another step further. So we're going to start with melting our butter. So again, we're on a low light. We're just going to gradually melt that butter and allow it to colour. Now it's only taken about 4 or 5 minutes to get to the right stage. Like I did before, I'll just show you again. If you can see the colour there, it's a lot darker, a hell of a lot darker than the bechamel we did, which was pretty much just melted. And as I say, it's that step further from the velouté. From there, in with the flour. And now we've got another opportunity again here, now that the flour's in there and it has formed a roux, to add more colour, more depth, and it's simply by cooking it that little bit longer. The next thing to go into this sauce is the stock. And previously we've used a white stock for the velouté, the brown sauce, so we're going to be using a brown stock. For example, a beef or a veal stock. I'm going to use the beef one today that we made earlier in the course. Exactly the same method, just pour in a little bit at a time. Now once your stock is all added and incorporated into the sauce, you'll end up with something that's a little bit like this. Lovely and smooth with a really deep, rich colour. Now you could stop here and end up with a half decent gravy, but to make it a true Espagnole sauce, there is one more ingredient to go in. Tomato puree. Now with the tomato added, back on the stove and let that reduce away until it's reached the right consistency. Now while we wait, I'm going to talk a little bit about the derivatives or the second tier sauces. If you have a quick Google, you'll be able to see that there are absolutely hundreds of variations that you can do from this base sauce. But I would say the two most notable is what's known as a jus, or the second is a demi-glace. Now demi-glace we'll get a bit more in-depth on later on in the course, but in essence that involves adding in some wine, more reduction and a couple of other processes. Now there is a funny story of how this sauce and how it was a happy little accident. If you know what it is, put it in the comments below. Now let's check this sauce. Absolutely spot on. So now that is 3 of our 5 mother sauces done and dusted. Please go away and have a practice, have a bit of a mess around with it and see what derivatives you can come up with, and we'll soon be using this up in our next practice dish. But until then, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time for another lesson in this How to Cook playlist.